Can a modern 500cc two-stroke compete with the latest, greatest 450 four-strokes? That's a Yamaha YZ500 and that's a Ducati Desmo 450. Let's find out some answers. We will be laying down hot laps on each of these machines to find out which is fastest around the track. But that's only the start of what will become a season-long mission to find out whether the BRC 500 can compete with the best race bikes money can buy. This is Josh Spinks. He's a pro racer, riding coach and two-stroke lover. For 2026, Josh has decided to take on a seriously cool challenge. Thanks to the support of Mike and his son Curtis from P1 Construction, Josh has managed to build himself this BRC-powered YZ500 and he's going to race it this season at one of the country's top national motocross championships against a stacked field of MX1 racers. It's a pretty grueling calendar and we've got no doubt that this is going to be a uniquely challenging season. This could go great or it could go disastrously. Either way, mastering this 500 is going to be a tough job for Josh. So why do it? Why put his season at risk? Why put himself under this pressure and under this stress? Well, at the end of the day, it's all for the love of two strokes. Yes, we'll be joining Josh for the ride, documenting the journey and dropping new episodes of For the Love of Two Strokes along the way. So be sure to subscribe to the channel not to miss a minute of action from season 3 of For the Love of Two Strokes. The gates will drop for round 1 of the season in just 3 weeks' time. So we've joined Josh at the test track today to see how he's getting on board the YZ500. And as you already know, he'll be laying down fast laps on both the 500 and the 450, which might give us an idea of how tough the challenge is going to be at the first round. But before we get to that, let's have a sit down and chat with Josh. This video has been sponsored by our friends at Insta360. So all of our onboard action today is being captured using the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. This is an awesome little action camera, perfect for motocross. And here's 3 reasons why I think that. There's a replaceable lens guard here, so you can swap that out if you get roosted bad. There's a wind guard here that provides awesome audio on the bike, but we're actually using the mic adapter today, so we've got mics inside of the helmet so the guys can talk. And finally, this thing's got flow state stabilization, so this footage is silky smooth and awesome to watch. So 3 reasons why you should check out the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. Check out our affiliate link below. Josh, you're taking on a big challenge this year, racing the YZ500 against the 450s at a national championship. But let's just rewind a little bit. Tell us, how long have you had the bike? So how many hours have you put in on it? What was the build like and what has been the hardest thing in terms of the setup so far?
So we've had the bike since late November, might have been early December. We've clocked 16 hours on it now this winter. As we've just been discussing, it's been an awful winter. It's been a test to say the least. But 16 fun hours, just doing a little bit of jetting. That's been the main thing for us. Just working with the YZ250 carb. Not done an awful amount because it's been running okay. We wanted it a little bit on the rich side just to be safe. But we're at the stage now where we're looking for as much power as possible, like I say, to compete with the 450s. The handling side's been straightforward. It's a lovely light bike and it's turning really well with cast suspension, handling well. So the biggest test, I think, is more the jetting side. We need to get our heads around that a little bit more.
What did you start with? A brand new bike? What were you looking at in terms of the build?
Thanks to my sponsor Mike at P1 Construction. He bought a brand new bike, 2026, started fresh.
YZ250?
YZ250, and then it came, like I say, in a nice box. Yeah, straight in, no messing. It was easy.
No dramas?
No dramas at all.
Sweet. You have ridden big two-strokes in the past. We've seen you racing CR500s. How does this thing compare to those older bikes?
It's very different in a number of ways, actually. So the gears are spread out more. So I use second gear more on this bike here, and second gear is a long gear, whereas on the old bikes, they all seem quite tight. Second's not a nice gear, you use third a lot more. But the actual, where the power's positioned is quite similar to the old 500s, which is kind of bottom to mid. You can't really rev these bikes and expect to get a lot out of it. You've got to be in that nice little mid-range. As far as handling goes, it's night and day. Obviously the old bone shakers there, the take some holding on to, quite plush suspension, where I can firm this up like you would do on a modern chassis. You can ride it faster in my opinion, the brakes work nice, being a modern bike. You can send it into the jump faces a little bit more, and over the braking bumps it handles so much better than the old ones. It's no different in my opinion to riding, say, a YZ500 two-stroke, brand new, which is what it is. Just strapped with an absolute beast of an engine. Yeah.
So looking forward to the season then, what are the hopes and goals and expectations for the project, for the challenge? What are you wanting out of this year?
I want to win. I don't see why not. We had a good season last year on the Triumph 450, and we had some race wins and a championship win. I've not been able to prove to myself just yet that it is competitive against the 450. Obviously I know it's fast, I know it turns well, but that's going to be presented to us at round one really, to see where we're at.
So that's kind of the overall goals for the season. You'll learn the bike as we go, but for round one, what are realistic goals? Where have you set the bar for yourself for round one, which is at Fat Cat? The deepest, gnarliest sand track in the nation.
It can be a little bit more like an enduro, Fat Cats. I think we all know that. You get lower back pain at this age now, and it's like stood up everywhere. So what do I expect from round one? To finish the races, see how the bike's pulling out the start. You know, I might end up getting buried and having to come through. As far as the result goes, I'm not even going to put it out there. I just want to learn from the first round and move forward. So that's where we're at with that.
So as long as we learn, that's fine. Anything more than that is a bonus.
Absolutely, that's the approach.
So round one will be kind of the first test to see how you stack up against the competition. But today is our first chance to see how the bike stacks up against a 450. We're going to do this lap time challenge. What are your predictions for today?
I know my bike will turn amazing. I'll be surprised if the 450 matches that, I'll be honest, because of the weight difference. But I know that 450s have power all the way through the range. You know, it's not going to lack anywhere. Maybe a little bit easier to get over that triple jump now that we've got here. So my prediction, I think it's going to be close personally, because I think it's going to get, you know, the 500 is going to be really good in the turns, out the turns, but I know that the 450 in my opinion is just going to carry a little bit more through down the straight. So close, I'm going to say it's close.
Let's stop yapping, let's find out the answers. Let's go ride. Josh will be hitting the track here at Doncaster Motor Park, first on the Ducati Desmo 450. There he goes, ripping away from the line, but the clock won't start until he crosses the timing beam. Here we go, the clock is on. So as we know, Josh is riding the Ducati Desmo 450 here, the most powerful 450 on the market at the moment. Looking good out there. He's looking formidable on board the big 450. As you can see from this Insta360 Ace Pro 2 angle here, the track is in prime condition today at Doncaster Motor Park. Josh spent the morning on the Ducati getting to grips with the beast. Halfway through the lap now. Josh is looking as smooth and stylish as ever out there. He's such a fun rider to watch. His technique on point makes it look effortless, that's for sure. Over the middle tabletop, outside. Oh, you can see the power of that 450 in action there. Over Putnam's Leap he goes. Doesn't pull the trigger on the big triple today. A little bit too rough by the looks of things. Into the paddock turn. There's only a couple of corners left in the lap now. Up and over the tunnel jump into the penultimate turn. Let's see if he can hit the same lines on the big 500. Over the line he goes. Lap complete on board the Ducati.
So the track's amazing conditions, quite rutty actually on the jumps, so maybe an excuse not to hit the triple today. Maybe we discard that. But bike's unbelievably fast. When you let it rev, it just keeps going, unbelievable. So enjoying it.
If you watch the channel regularly, you'll know that we only work with brands and companies with products that we genuinely use and love. And Seat Concepts is one of those companies. You can see I've got a brand new Seat Concepts seat on Kong here, and it's looking sweet. The seats are handmade in the USA and they are shipped worldwide. You can get them in different shapes, colours and heights, and they really give your bike the pro finish. I've got them on pretty much all of my bikes now and I genuinely love them. So if you're interested in picking up a new seat, check out Seat Concepts. Their link is in the description down below. Now it's time to take the YZM out on track and find out how it performs in the hands of Josh Spinks. I know which bike sounds the best, that's for sure, but watch carefully guys and let me know what you think. Which bike does he look best on? Which bike does he look fastest on? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Last minute adjustment before the clock is on then. Here we go, the moment of truth for Josh Spinks and the YZM 500. Keeping it nice and low over the first tabletop there, and it looks like Josh is able to use exactly the same lines here on the 500 as he was using on the 450, so that's good news for Josh. Through the roll as he goes, double, single. He's nailed it there, one of the most important sections of the track. Looks to be carrying some good speed on the 500 to the inside line there. So yes, definitely using the same lines as he was on the 4-stroke. He is looking good on this 500, I would say. What do you guys think? Oh, look at that, so smooth, silky smooth into the bowl burn there. And just listen to the bark of that 500, that is sick. On the gas, up to Putnam's Leap. Two corners left in the lap. What a beautiful sight and a beautiful sound. Into the final turn we go. This has been a solid lap for sure. So smooth, very fast. But was he able to beat the 450? Remember guys, if you're interested in picking up an Insta360 Ace Pro 2 to film and record your rides, be sure to check out our affiliate link in the description down below.
Come on then, how's that feel?
Obviously I've done some hours on this, so I felt more relaxed straight away. Big change in power though, the 450's definitely got more, but I think that was just, you know, ruining my arms. I felt more relaxed on this, I could use the power more, strangely, so yeah, overall felt a bit more better, you know, better that time overall.
What do you think you're going to be faster on?
This, just the corner speed and actually riding relaxed, kind of trusting it, knowing the bike a little bit more for sure helps. I felt much better on this actually.
Josh, you've ridden both of the bikes back to back. Now that you've done that, give us a quick review of each, run through the strengths and weaknesses of both bikes.
Well, the Ducati's fast. That was my first few laps.
Yeah.
Beautiful track today, a little bit edgy, bumpy, and I got arm pump real quick. That's how fast it was. It's like any bike that's not been set up for you. It's maybe the handlebar bend and stuff like that, little refinements where I think I could get more comfortable quite quickly. So it was a bit like a shaky start, didn't feel myself, a little bit stiff on the bike. Got on the YZM, everything's set as you like it. Obviously equally a bit of a beast, but just relaxed into that a little bit more. I think by that time, 10 laps on the track. Yeah, enjoyed the two-stroke, could feel the difference with the weight of the bike. The two-strokes always feels lighter, and could chuck it around a little bit more, so yeah, it's quite interesting from you.
You look comfortable on both bikes, to be fair. Now that you have done that back-to-back test, before we've even looked at the times, are you more or less confident for the racing coming up?
More so.
Really?
Yeah, interesting. If I was to answer that, both sides of my feelings, it's like, I know I can make up time in certain areas on the YZ500, but it was an eye-opener to how fast 450s can be in a straight line through the range. So that's the bit for starts. I'm a little bit question mark, is that going to be strong on the deep conditions, maybe Fat Cats round one, yeah.
I feel like we haven't talked about the actual championship that you're doing enough, so just tell us a little bit about this series. What exactly are you doing and how did it all come about?
Formerly known as the Bridgestone Masters, is now the Blues Masters, new title sponsor. It's a championship I've been involved with for years now. They class it as a professional race. It's not quite the main British Championship standard. I'd class it as a peg down from that. It's just more relaxed. I go there for my coaching more than anything, helping the riders, the youth riders on the Saturday, and then have the Sunday to myself and concentrate on that. So it's always going to be the championship of choice. But how it come about for this year was we won the championship last year.
Yep, on the Triumph.
On the Triumph, MX1 champion, which was great. We want to do something different and, almost try and prove that it's doable on, it's new technology, but kind of that hybrid of old technology, isn't it? It's a challenge. So that's the reason for it, really. Keep it fun.
So not only do you have a target on your back being a reigning champion, also there's going to be a lot of people that don't want to get beaten by the two-stroke, right?
Exactly that, and I've gone one further and put red plates on it for a bit of a laugh, just to make that bullseye look a little bit stronger. But yeah, I mean, I've had it done myself, years ago, where there's maybe a 125 James Dunn, for example, come blasting past me on his 125. It doesn't make you feel good. I'd like to be the other side of that this time.
Yeah. Obviously, we're going to be along for the ride, documenting the whole thing as 6 rounds, isn't it, this year?
Yeah, 6 round series.
Who's in your corner and who's in the team making it all happen?
So it's Mike and his son Curtis at P1 Construction. The team's called P1 Racing, got a fancy new logo there. And it was Mike's idea, basically.
It's Mike's fault then.
It's Mike's fault this boat we're in, but a fun one to say the least. But he sent me a link and just said, what do you think to this? And I just said straight away, let's get this done. Like, that sounds a great idea. And it's as simple as that, really. Curtis is actually on the team as well. He rides a 125 Yamaha. Fortunately, had a bit of an accident the other day. He's going to be sidelined.
Yeah,
got a bent up arm, to say the least. But it'd be great to see him back maybe by round 3. Let's
because
hope.
He was going to race it.
Yeah,
the Blues
he was going to be there for the full series. So got those guys in my corner. Great lads, and Mike. Anything that's been needed, it was his idea for the bike. Yeah, to have that support in my corner. People that I call them doers. Do you know what I mean? Like, get it done. Let's do it. And that's exactly what them two lads are. So really appreciate that.
Shall we get down to business then?
Yes, let's.
Let's find out some results. Are you nervous about this?
No.
Or just curious?
I'm very curious. Yeah, I've got a feeling in my head of what I believe to be the thing, but things are deceiving, aren't they, sometimes?
So what I will say, Josh, is that you were super consistent all day long, like amazingly so. I've got the times here, which were recorded with the crossbox device, which Josh has been wearing all day, so these are super accurate. There's no slow trigger fingers here. So on the Ducati first, a 141.33.
Okay.
Now we've done a lot of lap time tests here at DMP with our Hot Lap show, season 2 coming soon. That's a respectable time, especially in these deep, rough conditions.
Yep.
So a 141.33 to beat. On the BRC YZ500, a 141.21.
Oh, we said it would be close.
So you
we said it would be close.
Quicker on the Yam.
Yeah, that's what I thought, honestly. The feeling of it felt that way.
Look at that.
That's so
You can't
tight.
get any closer than that. I'm glad we had the crossbox because I definitely couldn't have got that close
Yeah,
to
that's
myself.
the accuracy we need, but it's made in the turns, for sure, on the BRC. The Ducati was, I'd put my hands up and say it's a bit too much for me in a straight line.
And you're a top high level rider.
There's just certain areas where I just thought, I don't need all this. It's nice to have it, and you can take it away. I'm sure you could get it absolutely amazing, but point to point, I feel like the Ducati would have set that time, but I think general flow and corner speed, 100% on the BRC.
Yeah. Must be feeling good now heading into the races. That's the most advanced, like we say, probably most powerful 450 there is.
Yep.
And you can match it on the Yam. So going into round one, we said there was no expectations, but there might be some now.
Yeah, there's no excuse now. That's my problem, isn't it? I've proved that it can do the job across a lap. So.
Yeah, can you do a moto though? How long are the races?
So they're going to be about 20 minutes plus 2 laps, close to 25. And yeah, I've been doing some high rocks races and stuff, so I've been putting a bit of graft in. I honestly, to add to that point, we only did blocks of 3 laps, I think, for the times, didn't we? I must admit, I was a bit more spent at the end of the Ducati because of wrestling it around, the extra power, compared to the BRC, so that's another positive. I feel like across a race, I'm feeling confident, got a smile on my face after that. It's a good result.
Yeah. Well, make sure you subscribe to the channel because we'll be following Josh through the series this year, through the season. First race is what, 2 weekends time?
It's got to be, yeah.
Yeah, so subscribe. You won't want to miss this. It's going to be fun. Season 3 of For the Love of Two Strokes is coming to the channel in 2026. Subscribe not to miss an episode, and remember, check out that Insta360 link in the description down below. Buy a camera using that link and you'll get a free gift. As always, a big thank you goes to Insta360.